What does it mean to finish? Can you finish? And where do you start? So what does it mean to finish? This is a big topic and a very interesting one, of very personal interest to me. But let's just, in a nutshell, let me start and answer here. What it means to finish. So the guy who invented this practice 2,500 years ago was the Buddha, right? And he had his own term for finishing, and he called it nirvana, right? You've probably heard this term. And there's a lot of vague understanding about what nirvana is, but there's nothing vague about how he meant it. And so let me explain in a nutshell what he meant, because he's talking about finishing. So there are two aspects to this state of nirvana, right? Which is a mental state achievable by every single person on the planet, every single adult in any case. Who wants to try and make it happen. And in fact, the old yogis would say that it's not only achievable by everyone, but it's our responsibility as mature, contributing members of our community and society and families. It's our responsibility to finish. When you finish, every action you take has a positive result. Until that time, there's some seeds called karma. There's some seeds of cause and effect that you can't help but plant as you take actions or think thoughts or feel emotions. You plant seeds of problems, and so finishing is clearing that out. So, coming back to the two aspects of nirvana. The first one is you eliminate, this is in the old language, you eliminate craving and aversion. And so what we can say a bit more modern is you get rid of your emotional reactivity, right? So either I really, really like it and I want it, or I really, really don't like it, I don't want it. Craving and aversion, running towards things, running away from things, and you find this balance. So this is the first half of mindfulness practice, and once you've accomplished that, you're halfway to finishing, halfway to nirvana. And you live a very calm life at this point. You don't have a lot of drama in your life. Then the second part of finishing gets a bit more subtle. Now that you have this calm state, and by this point you've built a tremendous amount of mental focus, and you don't have as much drama and glitter going on, now what you do is you take that focus and you turn it inwards. Vipassana can translate as insight. And so you start to develop insight into your nature. What are you? What am I? What am I made of? Down to my very, very core. And so you take this journey of self-discovery in the second half of mindfulness practice, and at the end of that, you start to look at yourself, and you start out quite big and chunky. You know, I'm a thought. No, actually, I'm not a thought. I'm an emotion. No, I'm not an emotion. I'm my body. No, I'm not my body. I'm my cells. No, actually, I'm not that. I'm these little pieces of material, these atoms and whatnot. Am I that? No, actually, I'm not that. And at the very, very core of you, there is an emptiness. And physicists talk about the same structure of things. And when you are directly, experientially in touch with that emptiness, and you live from that place while still noticing all your little pieces and your cells and your body and your emotions and your thoughts and your awareness, that's being finished. When you see the totality of all of you, from the very bottom, oldest part of you, to the very most recent part of you, this human awareness, that's what being finished is. Everybody can do it. Everybody is meant to do it. And in terms of how do you start at the very top. You start by making sure that somebody is in the driver's seat up here. You start by developing some presence of mind, which is to say you take control of your attention. And a very simple way to do that, I'll do it right now, is we can take one breath. And so for that few seconds I was taking the breath, my mind, my attention was only focused on that. So I was in control of my mind. And so we will extend that few seconds to just be perpetually and as a default in control of your own mind. And from there you can do all the rest of the work. You can clear up that reactivity, first step. You can develop the insight you need to the depth you need it, second step, and then you're finished.